know what time it is again. This is the last day. We're summing up the week on Friday here with my last guest, or should I say guests, today on the Make Money and Have Fun show, wrapping up the first week of what I like to call Author Month. Because for those of you that have been following along, you know that every single day this month, I'm going live with different authors all of the time. And today's super cool because I'm actually doing something that I actually didn't even know I was doing. So I had this idea a while back where I was going to do a double feature, right? Where I was going to bring on two guests at the same time, and I'd have like 3 split screens, and it'd be this awesome thing. And today, I got 2 guests coming on. So let's get into it.
My motto in life is make money and have fun. I'm on a mission to show everyone how to make money, yeah, and have fun. I'm all about making money and having fun.
So for those of you that are joining us on Facebook land or YouTube land, wherever you're at, show us some love, give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts, give us some wow faces in the comments. Let us know you're here, you're pumped up, and you're ready to go. But there's something else that I got to tell you about. So you don't have the same screen as I have. So on my screen, I have these like little screens underneath so I can see all my guests that are coming in. And these girls that I'm bringing on, they're like so enthralled right now. They're just like staring at their camera. Like, what is going on? He's playing rap music. He's wearing this red jacket. What have I gotten myself into? So, needless to say, today's show is going to be very interesting. So, please help me welcome both of my guests, Miss Paula Bates and Pam Bates. Get in here. What's going on, ladies? Share the camera.
We're trying.
No hogging it, Pam. So let's do this. Before we get into it, we need to make sure that everybody knows who is who when they're on here. So which one of you is Pam? Raise your hand for us.
This is me.
Right, that's Pam. And then which one is Paula?
This is me.
Hello, there's Paula. Look at this. We got the 3 of us hanging out here. Isn't this a great time?
Mm-hmm.
You look so comfortable.
Having fun. Having fun.
There you go. We're in the right place on that note. I love it. So, ladies, here's the deal. I'm kind of just gonna remove myself, let you two take over, because normally I'll ask my guests, what's going on? Tell us about yourself. Tell us your story. But I don't even know who to ask in this case. So I'm just going to let you take over. Tell us your story, who you are, what you do, and whatever else you want to let our guests know about. Take it away.
All right. So I lost my husband 5 years ago, and after he passed away, for the first year after he died, I was hearing a calling from God, I believe, that was tell his story. And I would hear it over and over again, tell his story, tell his story. And I never had aspirations to be an author, but when I realized he wasn't giving up, I asked my twin sister Paula to help. And we started our we took our first trip on the first anniversary of his death and started the project. And then we took trips over the next 2.5 years and put together our book, which is The Most Amazing Harvest, The Man Behind the Story. And so it's basically a memoir of my husband, Carl. And we're just blessed to have been on this journey. So I'll let Paula share.
Amazing.
Okay. So when Pam asked me to help, it really was like a gift from God, an answer to prayer. I had always wanted to write a book, had never had a subject that I was passionate enough about to begin. So it really was a gift and such an incredible journey. I don't know if anybody knows about The Most Amazing Harvest, but that was Carl had been diagnosed with metastatic cancer. And so the community came together and harvested his 450 acres of corn in 10 hours. And so there was a picture of the combines all lined up, and it pretty much went viral. It was on, TV, news. I don't know. I know it was everywhere. And Carl was such a humble guy. And he just would shake his head like, oh, my goodness, what is going on here? But anyway, that's where it started. And so that's why title is The Most Amazing Harvest, the man behind the story.
For lack of a better word, that is absolutely amazing. It's so cool.
Yeah, we use that word all the time.
Right. I bet you get tired of that now all the time. You're like, wow, this is an amazing book. Really? Like,
Right.
It's interesting to me always bringing on authors, especially this month, and seeing how they came into being an author. Because a few people that I've interviewed so far were like, yeah, I had no intentions of ever being an author, but it just so happened that this circumstance happened and that circumstance happened. And I realized that I kind of, in essence, found my voice through the pages of a book, right? Which is the same thing I do. I just do it a lot louder on this show. And I also have 2 books of my own. So I'm always just trying to find every way I can to get my message out there and to share it. So this is really just an inspirational, absolutely empowering story, at least for me to hear. So your husband passes away. You do this literally amazing harvest together. You go viral. The community comes together, and you just have this whole thing going on. What was that like for you? Like this post kind of time of being these authors and writing this book and putting it all together. What was that for you?
It was just a beautiful journey, I guess, having God incidences along the way that we really felt, God was telling us this is gonna be awesome. And even one of those, we were gonna self-publish. It was gonna be, just for our family, and we just thought, we'll just write this thing and put it out there for our family. And when we talked so we were going to get Amazon, do it on Amazon. And when we talked to someone who was going to help us format that, as we're talking to him, he's like, why are you going to self-publish? And there wasn't really a reason. We just knew that's what people had told us to do. We didn't have, big dreams or whatever. And so he says, well, I don't usually do this, but let me try to find you a publisher. So we're okay. So he calls us back a few days later and connected us with Morgan James Publishing. And, so that whole thing wasn't in our plan, but, we just felt like, okay, God wants us out there a little more than we were thinking. And so, that was a blessing too.
It's amazing, right? I mean, I've written, I'm on my 3rd book at this point, and my first 2 I just published through Amazon. And like David Hancock always says, who's the founder of Morgan James, for those that don't know, they're hanging out with us today. And I actually had him on this show a couple months ago. He's a good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. He always says, there's pros and cons to both sides. And Morgan James was kind of created to bridge that gap between both, which, is the perfect person to bring on this show, because I'm bridging the gap between people's finances and fulfillment. And so, it's definitely an interesting difference between the first 2 books that I've written, which I kind of just wrote them, put them up, and nothing happened. It was kind of just my way of proving to myself that I could do it. Mm-hmm. Was the way that I looked at it. And now it works for a great business card, to help position me and that kind of stuff. But going through a publisher is just a different experience. It's so much more fun. I mean, I'm in the beginning stages. I'll be coming out around springtime. So keep an eye out for Make Money and Have Fun, the book, at that time. I feel like, have you 2 ever seen Spaceballs, the movie?
I think that sounds familiar. I can't remember what I won't remember.
Oh, geez. You're not movie people, are you?
Well, we are, but I watch the same ones over and over because I forget that I saw it.
That actually, the funny thing about that is that actually means that you are a movie person in that sense. So same thing with me. I'm a big movie buff, but I watch the same 10 movies 152 times.
Over and over. Yeah.
Anyway, I always bring that movie up because I feel like Yogurt when he's down in the cave, and they're like, "What do you do down here?" And he's like, "Merchandising. We got Spaceballs, the T-shirt, the underwear, the flamethrower, the this, the that." Like, I just got to make money and have fun on everything now. It's becoming annoying at this point. I wish someone else would just buy this company from me and get it off my hands. I love it. So let's kind of talk about something different for a second. So you 2 are both twins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you're twin sisters. So I gotta ask, Paula, do you just wear glasses just so people know the difference, or do you actually need glasses?
I actually need glasses.
Okay.
I have glasses. I have glasses too. I'm just wearing contacts. So
that's smart. That's smart. Because otherwise, I would be totally confused. Like if you two got up and switched, and you switched glasses, I'd be like, what happened to Pam and Paula? What's going on here?
One switch. We get that.
So we have a couple people checking us out, and I always like to talk to the aspiring author when we do these shows. So you two have become authors. You wrote your book. What kind of encouragement or advice would you give to somebody who's in that place where they want to write a book, but they never have? What would you say to that person?
I would say trust God. Look to him for guidance. I think that held us up through the whole process. We talked about God incidences along the way, and one of the ones that was at the beginning is when we were putting all of the stories of Carl's life together. I was struggling with who was telling the story, and sitting at my computer and just had this inspiration. Well, his guardian angel was there from the beginning to the end. He could tell the story, and you could call him Gus. So pretty much knew that wasn't me, and just, went with it, and God's been with us the whole time. So yeah, trust God, and he'll, walk you through.
And I think too, one of the decisions we made was these trips. And so we would go to fun little places, and sometimes we were, stuck in our hotel room, but we knew we were going to not be distracted. There wasn't, when we're home, we've got other things that come up. And so we would go away and spend that time and just focus on making sure that we, got some writing in and did that. So I think, just setting aside that time, whether you go on a trip, if you even can now, but, just committing to that every day.
I actually like that. I haven't had an author on here yet talk about going away to write, but I think that's a great, it's a great piece. I have a friend of mine who did that. He actually, I don't know if you ever read the book Walden by Henry David Thoreau. It's a story about Walden built himself a cabin and lived in the woods for whatever, 10 years, 20 years, something like that. And my friend wanted to create his own Walden experience, as he called it. And so he basically took the entire summer off from work and traveled the entire U.S. by road trip, right? And then he camped out every night in all the national parks, Yosemite, Colorado, Utah, all those places. It was quite an amazing thing. And I think he wrote like 2 or 3 books while he was out there. But yeah, I definitely resonate with that a lot. Where did you guys go? Where was your trip? I think everybody wants to know that.
Well, we started out in Galena, Illinois, and then we've been to Gulf Shores, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Rockford, Illinois. Sometimes it was just, an hour and a half from our house.
Holy Hill in Wisconsin. And our ultimate trip was to Rome, Italy. That was the big one.
Nice. That's a good place. I haven't done much traveling in my life, but I did go to Rome. So that was a good trip. I got a leather jacket there. So all kinds of fun stuff happens in Rome. Yeah. So, all right. So the aspiring author, they reach out to God. They go on their trip to get writing. So what's next for them? Walk them through the process. Is it just having the discipline to sit down and write it, or is there some little like tweaks or tricks that you would give to someone new to this?
I think our editing, make sure that you get it edited so that you feel good about it. And, we kind of had a mess, and we kept saying there's something wonky, but we couldn't figure it out. And then, we had this editor, and she's like, well, you've kind of gone from chronological to subject based, and we're like, that's what it was, but we just weren't recognizing that. And so she helped us, rearrange all of the different things in the chapters. And so that was helpful. And I think what was the other thing we did? There's so many things that we have learned at our old
I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know,
I'm still learning.
They tell you, you know, you need front matter and back matter, and we're like, we don't even know what this stuff is, but
Why does that matter? That's what I say. Front matter, back matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, and I think I don't know if all publishers are like this, but Morgan James kind of walked us through, you know, so we'd take what they asked us for, you know, and we didn't know what it was, but we'd start, you know, filling out the form, and it all turned out, you know, fine. So
yeah, it's an interesting company. I mean, I haven't gone through other publishing companies at this point, but I always say, you know, just to give Morgan James a quick plug here. I mean, I should be charging them for advertising space for this, but I always like to call their company Beyond the Book, because it really, it's about everything after the book comes out. Because as authors, oftentimes we know that, you know, authoring is very difficult, if not impractical, to make into a full-time business. But it's the speaking engagements, it's the coaching clients, it's the positioning as an authority and an expert in your space that allows you to create the sustainable incomes and the business models that kind of come out of that from this, you know, this authority that's established by being an author and by writing a book. And so what has that been like for you? It's, you know, what I guess here's the best way to put it. And I'm going to start asking everybody it this way. How has your life changed since the book came out? Yeah, you like that one.
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Just, I don't know.
We've just finished we're in the process of formatting a book study to go along with the book for small groups. And so we're excited about getting that out there and hopefully encouraging and inspiring people to be, well, the name of it is The Most Amazing You. So that's our thing. And really, we found all kinds of ways we do speaking, and we've done, we wrote a song that goes along with it, and we've got somebody special working on a screenplay. So maybe
nice.
Movie someday.
Look at you. You could be movie stars.
I know, right?
Somebody else is going to play us.
I don't want to be.
You don't want to be in the movie.
No, but there's family members that do want to be in the movie.
I could play both of you. I mean, you look the same, so it's, you know, it's pretty easy to cover both roles. I just can't cover myself half the time. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. If you can't tell, I'm very comfortable in front of the camera and the lights and the whole ambiance and atmosphere. So if you need anybody to be in the movie, let me know.
Okay.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. That's definitely one of the things on the horizon for me is thinking about filmmaking and all that kind of stuff. So what would you say is next for you two in that regard?
Well, and that's, I guess, you know, now that I've thought about it a little bit, I think opening up to other opportunities. I have had the same job since I was a senior in high school. I work for a dental organization, and I think I just hit 42 years, time off for a little college, but back at it, you know, and I realized that there's more things that I can do and plan to do. And so we've just started a ministry for widows called Braving Widowhood.
Nice.
And so, you know, we've had a few Zoom calls. Our vision is to have some retreat weekends in some fun places.
More
COVID. We like to travel. COVID kind of put that aside for now. And
it made you work harder. My plan in 2020 was to become a speaker. So good year for that, right?
Yeah. So
that's amazing. I love that. I love that so much. I think that would be so cool. I actually just got off the phone with a friend of mine who's doing beach retreats. So he lives in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and he's like, he's like, I just bought like every domain, beachretreats.com, beachmasterminds.com. And like, I'm going all in on this beach retreats thing. And I'm like, I love it. So
that's awesome.
I might be speaking at the beach soon. That'd be fun.
There. Yeah.
If he needs a couple women on his speaking.
There you go. There you go. Bring your bathing suit.
We'll go to the beach.
We have decided we don't mind that. Like, people have, that's like their biggest fear is to speak in public. And we've decided we don't have a problem. It's fun.
And that's totally God too, because we used to be the shyest people you could meet.
It's amazing.
And he takes over.
Yeah.
It's funny for me because I kind of came into ownership of the fact that I like public speaking, and that's when everything changed for me. It was like, you know what? I am good at this, and I'm going to do more of it. I think I'm going to start a show. And once I did that, I'm like, that was the best decision I made in 2020.
Yeah.
I love that.
Very cool.
So Pam, Paula, thank you two for being here. How can people get in touch with you, pick up your book, or just hang out with you in general?
So our website is themostamazingharvest.com. And so we have signed copies from that. It's on Amazon, it's target.com, Barnes and Noble, all of those organizations. We have a Facebook page, The Most Amazing Harvest. Join us. We have a newsletter every month that we kind of keep everybody what we're doing next, and when this book study comes out, it should be out early spring. And so we're excited about getting that out there for small groups or for individuals. Yeah. So
that website is going to be bravetwin.com, where we'll have the study. And
what is it?
Brave Twin. That's the name of our partnership, bravetwin.com. So we're in the process of getting that up and going too.
And go ahead. Well, I was going to say, if there's any widows out there who just, want some support, and we've kind of got that ministry just started, and the retreats, like I said, are coming, and that is Braving Widowhood Facebook page, just for now.
Boom! Look at me. I'm like a full blown producer at this point. I just got to get quicker. Look at me. So would you say that this book is really written for widows, or who would be like the ideal person?
So cancer survivors. My husband had childhood cancer as well as and then he had cancer at the end. And then we have a lot of farmers. It's all about his life as a farmer growing up. So really, it kind of, there's a lot of, it's just an inspirational story.
Everybody that's read it, that we've, received messages from, it's faith-based, it's farming. If they grew up on a farm, they like it. If they have somebody that had cancer, it touches their hearts. So anybody can read it, and there might be tears, there might be
laughter and tears
through
those are my favorite.
Yeah,
those are my favorite.
Sometimes right after each other.
Nice.
Or in the middle.
There you go. Or you can have the tears and the laughter at the same time.
Right.
And then you get confused because you don't know if you're crying from laughing or crying from sadness.
That's right.
And then it's just a mess. So I actually have a great idea for both of you. What you should do is you should offer your book for sale with a box of tissues. And then you can brand the box of tissues to come with the book. Get that extra income from it. Because, Amazon takes like 70%.
Really touched you, didn't
it? Ladies, I love it. This is amazing stuff. Let's finish up. What would you want to leave our guests with today? What's your words of wisdom or your parting words for everybody hanging out with us today?
Have hope. We're old.
59.
Okay,
we're 59.
59. So, don't ever not follow your heart or follow your dreams, because God can make things happen that you don't even
Didn't even think about.
Didn't even realize. So, you know, if you want to do something, do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you are, you know, make it happen.
Go for it.
I love it. Ladies, this was amazing stuff. How did I do on my first ever interview with two people at the same time? Was this
You
okay?
did great.
Excellent. I didn't do as good as you, though. You two were excellent. I'm so pleased, so happy to have you here. This has been so much fun. Did you have a good time?
We did. That was fun.
All right. You said that right at the same time.
We always do that.
It was like a perfect twinning moment.
You don't even know.
For everybody out there in Facebook land, on YouTube, wherever you're watching us from, we would like to say we will see you again next week. I'm taking the weekend off, and we'll start again on Monday. See you guys.
God bless. God bless.
Have a good one.